Hello and welcome back to the podcast. We have as I said last week, our main host, Chaotic.
We have our secondary host, Chaotic, and we have our main host, Silver.
Some call me. And when Chaotic calls me my legal name, I know I'm in trouble.
My bad.
Today we are going to be talking about a monster that everyone has heard of at least once. And that is the Manticore.
The Manticore.
Have you heard of this monster, Chaotic?
I have.
Would you like to give our listeners a description of what you know of the Manticore?
Like a physical description?
Yeah.
Well, it, much like any other beast that we have studied, has a million different animals and stuff inside of it. I know that usually the tail is scorpion. It kind of reminds me of like the griffin body. It's like a lion, but it's like feathery. And then there's like wings that I know of. Usually the wings are like dragon-esque, so like more skin-ish based. And then face is kind of depends. Sometimes it's like the lion face, and other times I've seen like the human face. But I know for sure about the tail, the dragon wings, lion body, and the face is kind of hit or miss from what I've seen.
It's pretty close. Like you said, there's a variety of different ways Manticore is described nowadays. So the original one, so the Manticore comes from Persian mythology.
Ooh.
And the original Manticore, from what I've seen, was a lion's body, a scorpion's tail, or the tail had or it wasn't a scorpion, it was just a tail with like porcupine quills on it that it could shoot. Then the head was the head of a human with blue eyes, usually. And the hair is hit or miss in all the drawings, whether it has like a mane of hair of a lion or human hair. The wings were actually added later on in when the Greeks and Romans got to it.
That would be why I know that version, because of the Greeks.
Yeah. Which is what a lot of people go off of now, is that version of the Manticore. So the Manticore is a word that means man-eater, because what's its favorite prey? Humans. If you had to guess, Chaotic, what would you think the Manticore sounds like?
With it being a mostly lion body, I would want to say a lion, but I'm going to guess it's going to be like some screechy, awful dinosaur velociraptor sounding BS.
You're not far off,
Okay.
as it can sometimes mimic human voice depending on the situation, but a lot of it indicates that it sounds like a small trumpet or pipes or flutes.
Ew. I hate that I hate that it can mimic voices.
Because one of the stories I was listening to, it just showed that they said that they seen a head poking out of a bush and it tried to beckon somebody over. You know, you could see was the human face.
Ugh.
And I kind of mentioned it before, but one of the abilities this Manticore has is it can shoot its scorpion tail, the stinger out, and it's infinitely regenerative, so it just grows back.
That's gross.
And the only, if you had to guess one material to stop the stinger from piercing you, there's nothing that it can't pierce besides one thing. What would you think that would be?
Is it hydro-coated arrows?
That would probably stop it.
I don't know.
Elephant hide.
What a time.
The Manticore cannot pierce with its tail elephant hide, but it can pierce anything else.
Interesting.
So you don't get poisoned by them. You have to have elephant skin cloak or something of the such. Along with the human head of the Manticore, they gave the Manticore shark teeth, as he has 3 rows of teeth in his mouth.
Mm.
The more to bite you with.
3 rows of teeth.
because just one wasn't long and wasn't enough.
Ugh.
The Manticore is also a pack hunter. Well, I guess it's technically a reverse pack hunter
Yeah.
because it'll leave you alone if you're walking. Well, it might leave you alone if you're walking by yourself through the forest.
Hmm.
But if you got like 3, 4, 5 people with you, then it'll want to hunt you.
Imagine as a predator, you're like, you know what? I could take this one down real easy, but there's a group of 10 of them over here that I could fuck up even more. Just what?
If you're the ultimate predator, that's a buffet. Why would you have a potatoes when you could just have potatoes and steaks and noodles?
I guess, but the logic is let me just take down the one I know I can take down without injury. You know, like I don't know.
Maybe it expends too much energy just for one little human.
Maybe.
From what I've seen history-wise of the Manticore,
Mm-hmm.
Manticore is actually the misspelling of its name.
Oh.
It's actually Manticora, and then the Greeks, or one of the Greeks, misspelled it, and then everybody else just used that one's spelling, which I believe it was Aristotle, maybe if I remember right, that
Mm.
misspelled it. Then everybody else went off him, even Pliny the Elder, who we've mentioned before in previous works.
Hmm.
And then they ended up growing wings, like bat-like wings. Yeah, but it is a fierce, strong creature that just likes to eat people.
Just his favorite pastime.
Pretty much. It can be captured. The juveniles don't have their poison in yet. I've heard in one story, but who knows with these old monsters.
Mm-hmm.
But there is new media with them out there. Newer media.
Mm-hmm.
Want to go over that?
Yes. Yes, I would. Newer media. I know that there's a Manticore. I mean, it's not new, but I know that there's a Manticore in Percy Jackson.
That is one I did not have on my list.
Aha!
Is it in the books or the movies?
Movie. Well, it's in both, but
It'd be weird having it in the movie, but not in the
yeah,
book.
it's in both. But yeah, the movie is the one I'm specifically talking about. Have you watched the one with where they're looking for the golden fleece?
I probably have. I don't remember it.
Yeah, there's a Manticore there. Hang on, let me see. You might remember the scene. Give me a second.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember him now?
A bit. He's
Okay.
less human than I would have imagined.
Yes, I agree. But yes, that is the Manticore. Some of these Manticores, they really just pasted a human face on them, and I think that makes them 10 times more scary than trying to actually make it look humanoid. That's mortifying.
That's how a lot of the Greeks depicted them as. It's just a copy paste human head on top of a lion's body.
I don't like it.
Sometimes they
Don't
don't even
like
give him
it.
a scorpion tail either. They just have it as like a cat tail.
We love this.
They like to put junk on the Manticore as well in the Greek photos.
Junk?
They have their junk hanging out.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for that descriptor. I appreciate it. The Greeks do that with everything. They're like, if it doesn't have pants, put some shit on it.
Yep. Anyways, some that most people recognize it from is D&D,
Yes.
our nerd fan base. Also, Magic the Gathering, Harry Potter,
Mm-hmm.
Dante's Inferno, if you like the Inferno reads.
Mm-hmm.
Pixar has one in Onward.
Mm.
That's that little, what the thing, the Magic Troll movie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Grimm, the TV show. Modded Minecraft.
Modded Minecraft. Sorry. That was good.
The 1956 musical fable called The Unicorn, the Gorgon, and the Manticore.
I've never heard of it. Continue.
I just now learned of it. I haven't seen it yet, but it seems interesting.
Yeah, it does.
There's a book from 1972 called The Manticore, where Manticore assists the character in his dreams.
Mm.
Which fantasy books, the Manticore is like a base monster.
Mm.
It feels like very fantasy.
Yeah, he's an easy pick.
Oh, and then there's your favorite series. Your most favorite TV series of all has them. My Little Pony.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. They have Manticores in My Little Pony?
They do.
I'm looking this up right now. My Little Pony. What the fuck? That's fantastic. Fantastic.
And also those Manticore Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Yes. As you know, there should be anytime we use Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yes. But that's all the media I can think of. Or I have on my list.
Nice.
And that means it's time for mayhem.
Mayhem.
Would you like to go first?
I feel like, are we talking about these as individual animals or a pack?
Probably individual. I don't think they would actually hunt together like a pack
Right.
of
I'm
lions.
just making sure. Individually, I feel like areas they would thrive in would definitely have some worry with survival, especially because places in the world that they would adapt to and survive in would be places where they're going to be more apt to be together in groups. You know, you don't go by yourself to get water and to hunt and to do, you know, so they're going to be more apt to bother them. I think they'd cause some pretty good damage. With them
Mhm.
being capturable, I'd imagine we'd end up, you know, as humans do, finding a way to manage them as best we could. But I feel like it'd be managing them like we would manage a lion. You know, it's some wild beast. We can catch a few and have a few in zoos, but ultimately they're going to still run around and be wild.
Yeah.
So I feel like they would cause known mayhem in their areas of the world.
Yeah. I think jungles would probably be where they thrive at.
Yeah, I was thinking like South America and like Africa,
The
like, you know,
Midwestern United States.
we don't have jungles. We
We
have
got cornfields.
woods. Well, corn. I don't know if they thrive in a cornfield. That's
Tennessee.
they. You know, you bring up a good
Appalachia.
point though. Maybe the Louisiana swamps, the marsh,
Yeah.
could be rainforest esque. Some Carolina swamps, like some swampy areas, maybe. But I feel like they definitely would thrive more closer to where their story originated from.
Probably.
Just in those areas, in those jungles, in those wild areas, wild overgrown areas.
Hmm.
Maybe even like relocate to somewhere like Hawaii where it's like the warm rainforesty climates, possibly.
Might be too warm for them there,
Yeah,
though.
that's what I was thinking too. I was like, it might be too hot, but you never know.
Well,
Yeah,
Scorpion
adaptability.
Tail, Scorpion
Yeah,
Deserts, it might have something there.
yeah,
You come across one and just a human face on it, just sweating profusely.
yep.
I think they would probably be extinct, though, before they got to our generation.
I probably.
That's probably what happened to them if they were real back then,
That's fair. I could see that.
because they're not unkillable.
Yeah, just a pain in the ass to do it.
Yeah, being a wild creature, maybe a school mascot, a one division,
Probably, probably.
maybe a house. Like if we split it into 5 houses, Manticore be one of them for all
Yeah.
the angry people.
Mm-hmm.
Angry monsters get Manticore,
Yeah. Yeah. Mascot would be good. They're generally used. Beast.
especially because they're used in like signs of heraldry as well. So that's all I really had for Mayhem.
I agree. He's, you know, in this case, definitely more wild beast than functionable.
Guess we'll wrap things up.
I suppose.
Thank you all for listening. Now I'm yawning.
Oh, way to go. Way to go. Thank you all. Now you
Haha.
The sooner you yawn after somebody else's yawn, that means that you guys are closer connected. Did you know that?
I did not. Thank you all for listening. Thanks for Chaotic for hosting. And thanks our patrons, Mondi, Ruby, and Mage.
Woo.
Any news, Chaotic?
No. We have the tournament coming up end of February. That's going to be a lot of fun. So if you guys are not already watching for that, you should be. Honestly, I think that is all I have right now. The website should be launched this Friday. I am pretty sure everything's done. I have proofread. I need to add in our Patreon link, and I have double checked that we are contactable on the site if they would like. So I should be completely ready to launch Friday. I am doing my whole new workout nutrition routine. So I don't know about streams. I'm trying to do my Sunday through Wednesday still, but it ends up just being Wednesday lately. So Silver and I will get our stream in at some point, I promise. And yeah, that's all I have. And I will, once February starts, I will be sitting down and having the Miracle Workers Alliance charity that I work with, or for as the event manager. I will be hosting more D&D things, hopefully, and hopefully Silver will also be taking part in those. So if you guys are interested in some D&D things, I know that we haven't been able to do anything podcast wise with D&D for a while. If schedules got iffy, it got real hard. So if any listeners who are new to D&D or interested in D&D want to join, it will be a lot of new people. It'll be a lot of fun. People that you know, people that you don't know. So feel free to join and try it out. It'll probably be like a once a week thing. I'm going to hope, but we'll just see how it goes. My weeks get kind of busy, so it could become a once a month thing. Just not sure. So just keep an eye out for that. Other than that, no, I don't really have anything else. So
I was thinking about doing some one shots in the Discord too, starting in February, just so I can get back into using D&D. And I ended up getting a copy of Absurdia
mm,
from Quinn, the who made Quinn made it. He runs the Monster Hour podcast.
mm,
He had it on itch.io, and I got a copy of
nice.
it. It's very absurd and fun
Sounds
type
fun.
of role playing. With that, here is Chaotic with the outro.
Thank you for listening to the Monsters, Myths, and Mayhem podcast. Silver and Chaotic take you into the depth of the lore and discuss how these legends could affect modern day society. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or almost any podcast service easiest to you. Dive into the depths of chaos with us every Wednesday, bar Silver and Chaotic not missing their scheduling, and consider joining the podcast Discord or Twitter following even more insider looks and even some D&D sessions. If you'd like some extra special inside looks or even want to be a guest on the show, consider helping us via Patreon. Your help makes such a big difference to us both. Until next time, Mythics, you never know what kind of mayhem we might get into.